say amen, 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 amen.
All right, welcome back to episode 2 of What's the Odds? I'm here with Joey again, and we are going to keep posting every Tuesday. So let's jump into it and talk about the NBA trade. The Brooklyn Nets acquired James Harden for Karis LeVert and a shit ton of draft picks.
This trade was pretty out of nowhere, honestly. I wrote down a couple losers here. I think the biggest loser of the whole NBA trade was Kevin Durant himself. I think people are now expecting this team to win. So if they win, people are going to say that he had a lot of help, and if they lose, obviously the same thing goes. I feel like it's just a double-edged sword for him.
Yeah, I agree, and I think the also a part of the trade that doesn't really make sense to me is why the Rockets sent LeVert to the Pacers for Oladipo. But one thing to look at is I guess this trade kind of saved Karis LeVert's life.
Yeah, definitely. They found a mass on his kidney, I believe, when they got the checkup for the trade. So that's definitely interesting. As a Michigan man, I hope everything's all right with him. One of the teams that I think did a pretty good move was actually the Cavs. Now on top of Garland and Colin Sexton and Drummond, they brought in Jarrett Allen to play some defense for him. I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah, I do like that move, but the Cavs have a lot of centers on the roster. I mean, Andre Drummond is on a 1-year deal, so I'm assuming that they're going to move on from him.
No, yeah, look for them to trade Drummond at the deadline, I think, just to get something back. The Pistons couldn't really get anything. But I think Drummond's honestly elevated his play at the Cavs a little bit, so I think they'll get a little something back.
Another thing I wanted to ask you about this trade is, do you think it's fair that CP3 couldn't go to the Lakers, but James Harden can join KD and Kyrie?
Absolutely not. There's no reason CP3 shouldn't have been on the Lakers. This is just, come on. Let's be honest here. This is ridiculous.
And then do you see the Rockets being good anytime soon with this trade? Do you think they won this trade?
I don't think that this trade was something that they were planning on winning now with. I mean, they got 3-4 first-round picks, something like that, I think they have a roster that's going to be good to help the young guys grow and to still be a semi-good basketball team. But no, I don't think we'll see them top of the playoffs anytime soon. Right, ladies and gents. Next, we will be moving on to the Dan Campbell hiring of Lions. Colin?
As a Lions fan, I like the hire, but I'm not in love with it yet. Saleh, I feel like Robert Saleh would have been the flashy pick that everyone wanted. But then again, it's if Robert Saleh wanted the Lions job. There was rumors that said that he didn't interview well. I don't believe it. I think he wanted New York Jets, $70 million cap space. And yeah, but Dan Campbell, we're moving on from Matt Patricia, who they said was an X's and O's guy. And we are going away from that and going with a straight motivator and leader, which I think we need. And, Dan Campbell was also third on my wish list. I wanted Robert Saleh and Eric Bieniemy over him, but that's fine. And Dan Campbell has learned from under Sean Payton, and he also knows the culture because, Dan Campbell played for the 0-16 Lions, so he knows the struggle that we went through. And then Brad Holmes, I actually love the Brad Holmes hire more than I love the Dan Campbell hire. Brad Holmes is a good scout for the Rams. And yeah, I think the Lions finally got a GM hire right.
Nice. Yeah, as a Lions fan, I don't think it's really fair for me to judge these guys yet. I'll probably come back to them near draft time and whatnot. Moving on, we're going to go into our must-win bet of the week. Colin and I are both 0-1 from
last week's episode of Must Win.
Yeah, so basically, just don't bet these bets, okay? I'm going to be taking the Packers and Bucks over this week. It's at 50.5. And I think it's just the best bet to take, honestly. I mean, Aaron Rodgers at Lambeau and Brady in the playoffs. Like I said last week, man, they're going to put up points.
Taking another over, huh?
Yes, sir.
So I'm actually gonna go to UFC 257, and the Keen is back, Conor McGregor, and he has predicted that he will knock Dustin Poirier out under 90 seconds. So I'm gonna take the under of 2.5 rounds, and says that he does do that again since he did it the first time.
Oh, dude, I would love to see that, honestly.
Segment of the podcast called Who's Better, and I'm going to say two people from the same position And Joey is going to give his take on it. So let's judge Joey on this part.
Please don't hate.
We'll jump right into it. We have prime Big Ben or prime Eli Manning.
Ooh. I'm taking prime Big Ben. I think Eli is viewed as a guy that is really only really known for beating Brady in the Super Bowls. I mean, outside of that, he's never really put up spectacular numbers, and Big Ben has.
Yeah, I agree. Number 2, Damian Lillard or Kyrie Irving.
Oh, give me Dame Lillard, man.
You got to.
Yeah, honestly, there's that one's almost a surefire gimme. Dame is just second best point guard in the league, honestly,
and the best rapper in the league.
Yeah, honestly, real big bars out of Dame.
Number 3, Pete Carroll or Sean Payton, coaches, Hall of Fame coaches.
You know what? Give me Sean Payton because Pete Carroll did not give the ball to fucking Marshawn Lynch on the 1 yard line. That's all I got to say.
Hey, a lot of people say that was Darrell Bevel, but Pete Carroll did take the blame for it.
I'm sure Pete Carroll had the final say on that one.
Number 4, Drew Lock or Mitchell Trubisky.
And, as a Denver fan, I hate to say this, but at the moment, Trubisky sadly is better. That's not a good thing to say, but this is Lock's year to prove it though. So look for Lock to shut me up right now.
Number 5, Alvin Kamara or Christian McCaffrey.
Ooh, see, that's a tough one, man. From this last year, obviously McCaffrey didn't play, but I think when he's on the field, McCaffrey is the better player. And you could argue Kamara has been a dominant receiving threat, but who did that 2 years ago? I mean, McCaffrey could just do it all.
Another thing to think about is Kamara has Drew Brees and Michael Thomas.
And my man McCaffrey played with Kyle Allen and a couple games with Teddy this year.
So we'll move on. Number 6, Karl-Anthony Towns or Joel Embiid.
Oof, man, see, that's tough because both of them are really not leading their teams like they should. But I'm going to go Embiid, and I think Embiid would put up the numbers to prove it consistently if he wasn't sharing the paint with Ben Simmons. I think just having Ben Simmons as the guy that's supposed to space the floor is just unrealistic. It's just not possible. So, I think Embiid's better. He just needs somewhere where he can have the paint.
I think the defense is Embiid's way better than the defense
definitely.
as well.
Well, 100%.
So the final one, this one, people are going to judge you on this one, especially the old timers. No offense. But the 2017 Golden State Warriors or the 96 Bulls.
Oh, man. Old timers are really going to hate me for this one. But give me the Warriors, man. Like, no one can guard all those people from the Bulls. I mean, they have Pippen and Jordan that could play some solid D. And no one's guarding KD. Like, Pippen's good at defense, but KD can go over him, let alone go around him. I think it's just the Warriors all day.
I agree. Everyone type cancel Joe in the comment section.
Anyone?
Podcast for Marcus Aldridge. Can you hear me?
It's like it's glitching stuff. Oh, I think it's good. All right, guys, for the last segment of the podcast, I'm going to be naming off some random names, and Colin's going to have to say if they're a Hall of Famer or not. Expect new segments like this throughout every couple of weeks. We're just trying to keep it fresh for you guys. All right, starting it off. Are you ready, Colin?
I am. Let's get this going.
All right, the first one is going to be LaMarcus Aldridge.
Ooh, Hall of Fame or not, LaMarcus Aldridge. When he played for the Trailblazers, he was the man. Even in San Antonio, he has a couple All-Stars. I'm gonna say he is. One day he will be. Pretty sure he's a career 20 points per game average. I'm gonna say he does get in one day.
Okay. The next one is gonna be Zach Randolph.
Zach Randolph, Zebo. Just because he's from Michigan State. No, I was kidding. Oh my God, that's a tough one as well. I'm gonna say he's not an All-Star or a Hall of Fame.
Ooh, okay, okay. That's definitely interesting there.
I'm gonna say no.
All right, this next one, this one I know we have personally talked about before, but it's Devin Hester.
Devin Hester. I say he is the first special teams player to get in. I think he's the greatest returner of all time.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm gonna say he does get in one day.
Yeah, I think if they put him in as like a kick returner, he will. But if they don't allow him to do that, then he obviously won't. But all right, next one. This one hits deep to the roots, but we're gonna go Derrick Rose.
Derrick Rose is gonna be a Hall of Famer one day. He's the youngest MVP ever. He's still, even after he got hurt, he's still averaging 16 to 20 points a game. I think Derrick Rose will get in one day.
Yeah, I honestly hope he does. All right, next one. We talked about this guy earlier. Eli Manning coming at you.
Eli Manning's gonna get in. He has 2 Super Bowl rings. He beat the 16-0 Patriots. Eli Manning's gonna get in one day.
Okay. This last one, played with Zebo. I want you to,
You're gonna say
think
Mike
about this
Conley.
one. I'm gonna say Marcus Saul.
Marcus Saul. I'm gonna say yes as well. He has a Defensive Player of the Year, even though LeBron should have won it that year, but that's whatever. He got a ring in Toronto, and I think he's gonna get another ring with the Lakers at some point in the next 2 years. I'm gonna say Marcus Saul gets in as well.
Alrighty. Well, guys, that's gonna be it for this podcast. Make sure you guys come back Tuesday for the next one, and you guys take it easy.
Hello?
All right, I'm good.
It's working?
Yep.
All right, so the last part of the podcast, we are going to, again, predict the NFL playoffs. This is week 3. Last week in week 2, Joey went 4-0, and I went 3-1 because the GOAT beat Drew Brees, but that's whatever.
I told you.
All right, so this week, we got Chiefs versus the Bills, and obviously, I'm going to go with the Chiefs. They beat them earlier in the year. Clyde Edwards-Helaire had 160 yards, and I'm pretty sure he's returning this week. If Mahomes is playing, I'm going the Chiefs. But if Chad Henne's playing, even though he's a Michigan man, I'm going Buffalo if Chad Henne's playing.
No, I'm like the same exact way. I think Chiefs win the game by, probably a field goal, maybe a touchdown. If Mahomes is playing, I think it'll be a good one. But if Chad Henne's the starter, I honestly don't see the Chiefs in this game. I'll go on to the next. The Packers-Bucks. I have the Packs. They're at Lambeau. They played good all year, and I think Rodgers really wants to prove to the organization that they should have drafted him some weapons.
Yeah, I'm going to Packers too. They played earlier in the year as well, and the Bucks beat the shit out of them, to be honest with you. But it's at Lambeau, which when the Packers play at Lambeau, they're always going to have a good chance of winning. So I'm going to say they get the revenge, and Rodgers, I hate to say it, but he solidifies him being MVP this year.
All righty. Yeah, I agree with that one. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in to the second episode of What's the Odds. Make sure you guys come back around Tuesday, same time next week. Starting next week, we'll probably be having some guests. They're going to come on and help us out a little bit. But other than that, you guys have a good one and stay safe.